So we got an ad for that, but not even just an ad. It's like a workplace social media for just, I guess, giving recognition to employees. And it's like, duh, you should just fucking do that. It was just so fucking silly. And it's just hard not to laugh and just be like, wow, really? This is where we're at today. We've created this business to recognize hardworking employees. Fucking god damn it. God damn it. All right. Quiet on a set. Yeah. Yep. It's going to be another one of those episodes. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Rated G. I'm your host, G Terado. If you are new here, welcome to the show. This is a podcast where I typically sit down with friends, local artists, crafters, and other creative entrepreneurs, and we simply sit down and have honest discussions and conversations about our creative endeavors, all the ups and downs throughout the creative journey. And we simply talk about other things in life, about our interests and hobbies, and basically what keeps the mind ticking. So if you enjoy this content, you resonate with it, you relate to it, please be sure to hit that follow or subscribe button. Ring the notification bell, and hey, leave a comment, help with the algorithm. So you're tuning in on podcast or watching on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, please definitely subscribe to my channel. I do post other content other than the my podcast, so you can do that. That would be awesome. Also, check out the show descriptions where I'll provide my link tree and also links to my featured guests. All right. But in this case, we don't have a guest, so we won't be getting into that. But yeah, that's about it. Oh, actually, that is not it. If you are a returning listener or viewer, welcome back and thank you to your continued support. And if you haven't already, do all the things I just said before, like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff. And let's get into it, because this is gonna be, judging by my notes here, this is gonna be a loaded one. I usually always say, I'm gonna try to keep this short. I'm gonna try to keep this in an hour, and that shit has failed so far. Evidently, I got a lot of shit on my mind. But yeah, there's a lot going on here. Where do I even begin? I guess we'll start with what I first wrote on the notes. All right. I know I always talk shit on social media. I know I'm aware how much of a hypocrite I am. Hypocrite? I said it right. Yeah. I know how much of a hypocrite I am. It's hard not to talk about this shit when you're just sort of, well, when you're trying to just sit back and observe. And when I say observe, I mean doing all the things you would normally do on social media without engaging and not attaching yourself to the things that are being spread, being posted up. So whether it's news, entertainment, like all that stuff, whatever it is that will either get you riled up or filled with overjoyed or any of that stuff. So it's fucking hard. So I feel like I repeat it all the time, but it's fucking hard. It's a constant practice. So when I say, like, I'm trying to do these, trying to practice these disciplines, like, I'm practicing them, and it's a work in progress. And I feel like I need to I need to clarify that, just in case no one out there is like, "Oh, who the fuck are you, bro?" Like, Mr. Perfect over here. Like, nah, it's I can't help it if I sound that way. Like, I do sometimes I catch myself, although in hindsight, but I do catch myself when I'm being sort of arrogant or boastful. Um, but yeah, anyway, so I'm always shitting on social media. Um, I don't want to, again, I'm not really trying to shit on it. This is just something I'm, uh, like just something I'm noticing. All right. Or at least I think I'm noticing. I'm kind of speculating here, but, um, I actually brought this up with a recent guest, Mike Hadley, and I was thinking about this for a while, and I was waiting up to this point to bring it up, but I figured, hey, I'm talking to Mike, and we were talking about social media, so I was like, oh, I'll bring this up. Um, I feel like, I mean, I think it's needless to say, social media has definitely affected our way of communicating. And I'm generalizing. I know some people handle it very well. Others, like myself, I can't seem to, I don't know, find a balance with it because, like, I don't know. I feel like it's fucked with our social skills. Like, it's like it's so easy to, like, it's just so convenient to be outgoing and be able to reach people who, like, at these crazy times or whatever, or other parts of the planet, right? It's crazy. Like, I love that we can do that, and it's great that we have sort of that convenience to be like, I'm just gonna hit up whatever, send them a DM. But it's so easy to just to ghost people, and I have a personal issue with ghosting. I'm not going to get into it, but anyway, I just feel like social media has distorted how we interact with each other, um, on social media and even in person. Because I feel like it just, I've had these great interactions with people when I'm meeting them, networking at these local artisan events. And you slowly over time start befriending each other. You start getting, real casual, building a friendship essentially. But then after the initial, like, bonding and like getting to know each other a little bit more, they kind of just ghost you. And obviously I'm kind of putting out there a lot, and like I'm basically just telling you like what I'm going through, and I've been vocal about it too. But it's just like it's so hard to kind of engage to continue to engage on this uh newly found friendship. It's like, because it's so easy just to stay in touch through social media, and when it comes to like really trying to commit and like hang out with people, I'm finding it difficult. I'm gonna say I'm sure I'll just say it's it's me, and it's maybe them. Like, I don't want to take the full blame here and be like I'm too overzealous or whatever, too much. I don't know. We all got our issues, so I'm not gonna take the full blame here. But so that's been a very prominent thing as of late. But I'm starting to think, uh, if it's affecting our memory, because not only has it affected our uh social skills, but I think it's also evident that it's affected our attention span. Um, our need to just keep our minds occupied rather than, being present, being in the moment, without your device. So I feel like it because and what brought this whole thing up really initially is, it's like I see it every time I meet someone new, even someone I've already met before. But I'm like, every time I meet someone new, and I'm sure you out there have said this dozens of times. So I'm gonna include all of us. So we tend to say, oh, I'm bad with names. Sorry if I don't remember your name. Like I noticed the claim of I'm bad with names. I'm better with faces. Like we're all like I've noticed we all say that so much, and I think it's because of social media. We're capable of connecting with so many people like at once. There's so many fucking names, so many people to just we know so many people, right? So I feel like that kind of makes it or has made more difficult for some of us to remember other people's names when we meet them for not maybe one time but for a couple times. um and I think that's just because, again, social media, we meet so many people, and not only that, I think because the way we uh, display our names, like I mean I'm not gonna get into my name, but like everyone's always going by first and middle name, is it first and last name, right? Standard, or first and middle and last name. Like, so it's just like I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'm alone on this. I'll just say I'm alone on it. It's just something I've noticed when I'm meeting people, like, because I feel like it's such a thing for me. So I always point out, like, hey, I'm not an asshole. Like, so if I forget your name, that's not me being a douche. Like, I am better with faces. Um, so yeah, I'm just like, is that social media, or like, not even just blaming social media, but that is that just because how we've evolved now socially, is that being able to connect with new people all over the world, just it's like it's fucking impossible to remember. I don't know, it's not impossible to remember everyone's names, but it's just so hard to keep up. So yeah, that's my question, is social media affecting our memory because of this hypothetical speculation, whatever the right word is, because I'm bad with words, very bad, so bad, bad boy. Just, just take a weapon, put me in. Such a bad boy with words. Also, there's something also I've realized. Um, Again, this is just an observation. I'm not trying to shit on anyone that does this, but I had this sort of realization uh that, like, I've brought this up with a guest. I'm like, there's two types of people. You have the one person that will their initial reaction to when they hear a fart is like a laugh or a smirk, or and the other person is they're grossed out, off put by it, right? There's two types of people like that. But I also believe in another way of putting it. There are two types of people. Uh, One who watch others content imitating how different animals attack, as opposed to those who actually watch real animal attacks, like real, like, actual footage of different animals attacking prey. Now I'm probably just fucking overlooking it, but I'm just thinking, like, I'm not trying to shit on the content creator, right? Like, it's funny, it's humor, I get it. But again, it's just like it's just so silly. So, I don't know, maybe because I'm such a fucking uh you know, what suspicious of everything. Is it suspicious? I don't trust anything anymore. I feel like everything is a facade to an extent, right? Especially when it comes to trying to gain views, followers, likes, you know, virality. Is virality even a real word? I feel like I use that all the time. I'm gonna look it up. Is virality? No, not vitality. Oh, see, wait, hold on. I think virality is a word. Um, but yeah, I mean, so I saw a video. I'm sure maybe you might know what I'm talking about, but there's a video. There's this guy, and he makes content on like, he has one. It's like how different people run, how different actors run, um, kids, how kids run, and he has one where it's different animal attacks. And then it's like, all right, it's funny because I'm watching a human imitate how these different animals, or really how like animals that this guy is physically capable of imitating. It's just, I don't know. Again, I'm fucking overthinking it. I'm this is an unnecessary deep dive technically. But it's just like, all right, like, oh, it's funny, dude. You're attacking like if a sloth was were to attack something. It's just, I don't know. I'm deep. I'm going way too deep in this one. Sorry. It's just, I don't know. Again, right? I'm just trying to observe without like getting too attached to these things. It's silly, it's funny, but it's also at the same time stupid. But it gets it does accomplish the goal. He accomplishes the goal, right? He's getting all the exposure. So I don't know. Like I probably sound like a hater. Like I'm sure I sound like a hater every time I point something out, but this is just me trying to process the things that I see almost on a daily basis, basically. So, you know, so if you resonate with this shit that I'm talking about right now, please leave a comment, let me know what your thoughts are on this matter before I move on to the next thing. Hold on. All right. Okay, so there's another thing. Again, I'm gonna try not to get too deep on these topics. Um, there's one that I might go pretty deep on, but anyway, so uh, my wife and I we're pretty big fans of UFC, and we watch every fight night every weekend, and there was this one ad. I haven't seen it in a while, but this one night there was this ad for like, I'm afraid to mention it because I know I'm gonna start seeing shit for it in my emails or in my social media, um, on my TV. So fuck it. Anyway, whatever. I'll put it out there. WorkHuman social recognition ad. Right. This is an ad for WorkHuman, some company. Uh, I'm 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 new to this. I don't know. I didn't know about this company, but I saw this ad for WorkHuman, and it's basically, yeah, just advertising recognition of your employees, and it's like we need to like we're at this is where we're at now. This is where we're at now today, is that we need to now advertise, not only advertise, telling your employees like, hey, you're doing a great job. You may feel underappreciated and undervalued, but I appreciate you. Thank you for doing such great quality, exceptional work for this company. But now, so we got an ad for that, but not even just an ad. It's like this. I think it's like a social media platform for that. It's like a workplace social media for just, I guess, giving recognition to employees. And it's like, why do we need that? Like, duh, you should just fucking do that in person when you're seeing this person. It's just like, and if you watch the ad, it's like it's just so silly because the way they show it. I mean, I don't want to do like a cut two of the commercial because of you know monetization or risk of demonetization. Although I know I'm not going to get monetized for it, but you never know. One day. But anyway, there's like a scene where it's basically, I guess, presumably the employer. It's a work meeting, and then I guess the boss is doing the thing, and I guess what I'm assuming is like an assistant of this the person that the boss, whatever, is just she's sitting between these two people that are having this business conversation, and she's just like, or maybe I should say they, because I don't know, but they're just sitting there, and like the way the visuals, like it's clearly they're just like they're the little person, they're just watching them two interact, and they're, I don't know, doing like secretary type of work or something. I don't know. I can't remember. I'm surprised I can't remember as many times as we've seen it. But yeah, it was just so fucking silly. And it's just hard not to laugh and just be like, wow, really? This is where we're at today. We've created this business to recognize hardworking employees. Fucking god damn it. God damn it. Okay, that felt good. That felt good to get that out there. Scream therapy. Scream therapy. Is that real? Yeah, anyway, I'll look it up later. Okay, let's switch gears because this is ultimately an artist and creative podcast. So I'm gonna take a break from all the bitching on stuff and talk about some new work. Well, not some new work, but a new painting that I recently finished. If I move my head, you can see it there for those that are watching. For people that are just listening, subscribe to my channel. But yeah, it's called Away, and I thought, hey, I've mentioned it. I've mentioned it previously on another podcast, but I didn't really get into any specifics. Um, and I think that this is something I'm gonna try to start doing more, is getting deeper into the work that I'm producing, getting more into the stories, the message of each piece that I work on. So I figured, hey, I just finished this new piece. Why not kind of dive in on that and kind of give you a little insight on the inspiration and the general meaning of the painting, which it holds a lot. So bear with me because this is the first time I'm really being outspoken about this painting, and something I really should address before I even try to try to do this is that at least with my work, this current painting series, Tech Utopia, and please, if you listening, watching out there, if you yourself are an artist, a visual artist, or any type of crafter, creator, but this is something that you resonate with, please comment, or send me a DM. I would love for you to pick my brain in on it, or I would love to pick your brain about it. But yeah, just feel free to comment or reach out. But as I work on a piece, because like for me, I generally I'll have a message or a narrative in my head already. Like I already have that sort of um blueprinted, right? And then I'll start the piece. But then as time goes on, the more I work on it, bit by bit, I tend to learn and discover more about where the end result is going, and also it's a therapeutic process. I'm sure any type of creator can agree to that. The process in itself, it can be very therapeutic as the final product or the end result. So I do oftentimes find myself learning not more about the piece and how it's coming together, but also I tend to discover a little more about myself, and why am I putting this out, um or like why am I feeling this way, and it's weird. It's like self therapy. um so I just want to address that before trying to explain this painting, because um just it's hard to get everything out and really be as clean and as articulate, especially for me, to be as articulate with my thoughts, because again, I'm so bad with words. um I don't know why I do it. So yeah, just bear with me if things don't really sound that clear. uh but yeah, so this painting away, it's not only an interpretation of what I observe, um how I feel of our current situation in life, but it's also a little callback, at least visually. It's only obvious to someone who grew up in this era. So it's a person sitting slumped in a chair, and visually, at least the way it's modeled, is based off of a very, very old. God, I'm starting to feel old now that I'm trying to explain it, but it's based off a old cassette tape ad, um, and I believe the ad itself was called "Blown Away." And the usual, sir. Please.
Even after 500 plays, our high-fidelity tape still delivers high fidelity. Accept, it's worth it.
Why did I choose that visual? Um, it's just another symbolic way of how planted we are when we are completely consumed by our devices. So now in the painting, the victim is wired up. It's in a this simulation set, and while this person is stuck in the simulation, there are these monitors, a bunch of monitors with people reacting to this person that is this emaciated person stuck in a simulation. In the chair that this person is sitting in, it's like falling apart. It's all cracked, and you can see the stuffing inside the chair, like it's ripped and cracked and ripped open, and it's like stained. Like I was trying to show that how long this person has been wasting away in this chair. And whether it's like a drastic exaggeration of what I'm seeing, I mean, it is still partially true. Like, and then so that's like that's what I think how we are with all this media, social media, mainstream media. We've got to the point of full on simulation here where, like, yeah, you can literally just sit wherever you're at and just put on these goggles and fucking be in another world, as and but it's kind of calling out certain types of people, right? So you got like those that stream. Like I have friends that stream on Twitch and live on YouTube and all that. But like I'm talking like long hours of streaming. I have a friend, fucking Kieran Fallon, my homeboy from college. He's been on this podcast numerous times. He streams long ass hours. Now I'm not saying this is him, but or maybe, I don't know. Like I don't know if he's this bad, but in terms of like he's not emaciated like this person. And I think realistically, if someone was so uh sedentary and just stuck in their place, they probably would actually be obese. But I think because of my I don't know if it's fascination or just my appreciation of anatomy or what, I don't know. This person is like just deathly thin and malnutrition. And again, I keep using the word emaciated. But my boy Kieran, he ain't like that. um, but that being said, he streams for like 12 hours. Sometimes I want to say he's done 24 hours, maybe not, but he streams for long ass hours. And I'm just like, God damn, like it's such a huge part. I mean, it's like, it's like a fucking work shift. And like to do that after a work shift is like, man, I don't know. So it's just wild that people will do that, or that do that for a living too. So it's just like, it's crazy. Like you're like, that's the kind of world you contain yourself in. So it's kind of like, I don't want to say jab or anything, but that's like part of the observation of like, man, it's like, it's wild that we have these streamers that do this for hours, long hours, late at night too. Um, and then it's also an observation of um, content reactors, YouTube reactors, people that literally started and built their YouTube channel off of reacting to videos, reacting to content that other YouTubers put out, or just content of their favorite music artist, or just anything. There's so many types of YouTube reactors. And I'll be honest, there are some that I do follow, but it's very specific. The YouTube reactors that I do tend to follow, or not even follow, but if there's like something that I'm into that they're reacting to, I will watch their reaction, because they, best way to put it is like hip hop reactions. So I watch I'll watch people reacting to other music artists because they themselves are music artists, or they specialize something in that in the art industry. So whether it's like a vocal coach reacting to a Linkin Park video, or some other YouTuber reacting, that's an MC or a rapper, or even like a ghostwriter reacting to other rappers or hip hop artists, um, music, and breaking down the bars and the lyrics and stuff. Like I love those type of reactors. Same thing goes for like martial arts. Um, watching other martial artists, um, you know, critique, or not even critique, but point out important moves or actions in the act of martial arts. So I like those type of real reactors. But there's so many other reactors that are just like, all they do is just sit at home and record themselves reacting to videos that are recommended to them, suggested to them, or just like whatever, but never have like real input, right? They just literally react, but with no like nothing behind that. It's just like, they don't try to interpret something, or like, like it's just, I don't know. So, and that's why and that's why I have these people on the screens. They're actually all like based off of all these different YouTube reactors. Um and then what else? I mean, there's so many things in this painting that, again, I started realizing a little bit more towards the end. I will also point out that the screens on the monitors, they were the last thing that to be completed. For like the longest time, I've had everything painted in. For the most part, everything but the screens, the monitors, because I didn't know what to put on them. Um, you know, so like I didn't know, like I wanted to show like it was either going to be like just spectators, whether it's like the masterminds of this truly dystopian world, or other like just bystanders. It's bystanders. I said that weird. Or just like people witnessing and watching this this thing that's happening, and just kind of reacting, or in any way, whether they're like, I mean, if you were to look closely, you're gonna see all these different types of reactions on these people. But again, it's like we're all kind of condoning on this to some extent. Like we're all part, it's so easy to like point out the issue, um than to admit that we are part of the problem. We're part of the issue. And you know, how can we be part of the solution? That's a whole nother thing that I do not feel confident uh figuring out. But that's sort of the train of thought that I've had working on this piece, finishing this piece. But then again, right, the more I look at it, I guess because I'm sort of reflecting, and I am attached to this sort of narrative and the message behind this, because I identify with the person in the seat. I also identify with the people on the screens, right? So again, I'm a like being a victim, but also being the person condoning this thing. You know, it's all self-inflicted, whatever. But it's like, you know, I don't know how to wrap that thought up, but yeah. So is that it? Do I want to say any more than that? Um, yeah, it's just again, like, yeah, like people when they see my work at these artisan markets and festivals, they ask me, "Oh, like what inspired this?" You know, and I'm like, it's like a cop out of a answer, but I tend to answer with like purely observation, like um, you know, but it just put in a very dystopian world, darker view of it. You know, I put this dark filter on top of it. Um, but it really a lot of the shit in the Tech Utopia series is that's what I observe. Um and yeah, so that's sort of yeah, damn. I probably did no justice explaining this painting for you guys, and I apologize. I don't know if you know if you've caught this whole segment of the podcast, please again leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts. Um, Again, this podcast, I use this platform to better my conversational skills and articulation skills to be better with words. Yeah, that's really all I got to say about the painting. Excuse me, my throat's starting to get dry.
Are those the ones that have like caffeine in them too, or are they just
No, it's just
soda water?
It's
Okay.
just yeah, sparkling water, and you know what I like about liquid
Tell me.
comes from the Alps, and with every purchase, 10% will go towards plastic pollution. Death to plastic, murder your thirst, and help the environment. Liquid death.
Hydration. Yeah, that's all I got to say for now. If you got questions about it, let me know. And again, the title of this painting is Away. All right. I think this is gonna be another unnecessary deep dive. This is a little more on the political side, and I try not to get too political on certain matters, but this one, yeah, this only struck a nerve because I don't even know how I want to start the premise. I guess I'll just start with that. I stopped myself from applying to an event because it's been hard getting my foot in the door with a lot of, well, not a lot, but some of these organizations that put out regular events. And you know, if if you're tuning in, this is your first time tuning in. My wife and I, we just moved here about a year and a half ago, and since then I've been trying, like, just gradually trying to, you know, get familiar with the art community, and just, you know, I've been networking with people and other artists, other crafters, and yeah, there are so many pop-up markets here, like it's wild. So I've been applying to some, and you know, getting on their mailing list, their vendor mailing list, the waiting list, all that stuff. And so there was one, I figured, hey, you know what, I'll try this one. Again, I don't know if I want to put the name out there, but fuck it, because I don't think I'm going to be doing an event with them uh you know, anytime in the near future. But so this one is called Safe Space. It's a safe space RVA, something like that. And it's well, again, this is all this is just opinionated. This is just how I'm taking it, how I'm seeing it. Like it seems like this event, or at least the what's driving this group, this organization, is like heavily politicized, because like the safe space market, it's supposed to be a safe space for all vendors. It's particularly focusing on the safety of the LGBTQ plus community, the Black Lives Matter, was it black indigenous people of color, the BIPOC, and like all these political, it's like very social justice warriory, right? Now I don't like to I'm very in the middle of these belief systems. Anyway, so I stopped myself midway of applying, because they had these like 4 standards that you had to basically abide by, or like have strong beliefs in, which some of them I'm like 50-50. Like I'm going to go over the list, cuz it's like there's it's just kind of ridiculous. Like I didn't think we had to, like, I didn't think we were I just didn't think this was necessary, this organization, to be honest. And I'll get into that in a second. I'm going to go over these 4 boxes that have to be checked off. Let me light this fucking joint before I get into it, because I don't know why, but it fucking got me fired up. Just because it's like it shouldn't be so cut and dry, right? But all right. So the first box that needs to be checked off, and in the application, you actually don't have to check it off physically, but these are the 4 things that you must believe in. And again, I don't believe in half of them, and the ones I do agree with, I'm still like, there's still like skepticism, because fucking people overdo things. So the first thing is oops, hold on, I lost my spot. All right. So the first thing is you must believe wholeheartedly that Black Lives Matter and supports anti-racism efforts. Now, me, G Terado, I do believe, look, I don't fucking like Black Lives Matter, the organization. I really don't believe in them because of recent happenings, shootings. I believe, so obviously racism is bad, okay? All right. So yes, I am I do support anti-racism efforts. All right. I feel like that's kind of a given. But Black Lives Matter, the organization, that one rubs off. That one doesn't sit well. Because, like, obviously I'm not Black. If you're just listening and you've never seen my face before, I am not Black. I'm Filipino, brown boy. So I just find it kind of funny. Like, you got this Black Lives Matter group, and at least on my end, what I seem to witness, there are a lot of Black people that don't fucking like this organization either. right? And I would say the proof of that, well, at least the proof of the like that Black Lives Matter is like there's something wrong with it is because of what happened recently with this poor mother and her two children. Um, there's hold on, I have links. I'll provide because there's I have these two links saved. That obviously I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but if you want to get more context, more clarity on like how like on what I'm trying to explain here, I'll provide the links in the show description so you can watch it in your own time. But there's a 12-minute video of this guy. I don't know what his background is. Like I don't know what his profession is, if he's like a if he works in politics or whatever. But it is a black gentleman. But this whole do I want to even get into this before I explain more about the yeah, why not? Fuck it. I'm sorry. If I'm like all over the place, forgive me. This is why I need a producer or someone to keep me in line. But so there was an incident, unfortunately. A gunman got shot down by the police. All right. They called it a standoff, but it really wasn't a standoff. It was like this person was outnumbered. But so a, a a black person, a person of color, was gunned down by the police because that very same person started shooting. Uh, uh, he was in his house and he was shooting out into the neighbor's house. And she had two kids. I believe I don't know if she's a mix or just a very light skinned black person, but I believe she is a person of color, and two of her children are they're two adopted children, and they are black also. And so now so why this relates to Black Lives Matter is because so this incident happened. Fortunately, I do believe the mother and the kids they were not touched, but there were photos of the damage that was done, right? So Black Lives Matter people came out to do a peaceful protest in front of this poor woman's home because this black person, this shooter who was a black person, was gunned down by the police. They're like, oh, justice for this person, blah blah blah. Black Lives Matter. What the fuck? But it's like, yo, what about the fucking the real victims, like the poor woman and her two kids? Like, so in the first link, because is the video of this gentleman going over the footage. Because it's in the news, right? In the news, it's this woman confronts all these Black Lives Matter people. She's like, why are you guys doing this? Like, why are you supporting him? Like, like my kids are gonna be, they're most likely gonna be traumatized because of this whole matter. And you're out here like protesting, on behalf of the shooter. It's like, what about us? Like, what the fuck? That's essentially it. And it's like, it's just like such a fucked up situation because you got Black Lives Matter people defending a shooter that was gunned down, a shooter that was a black person who was gunned down by the police because he was a major threat to a family that is also people of color. And they're defending the shooter, not being more remorseful of the family that are victims here. Like, what the fuck? So that's why I hate the Black Lives Matter. I feel like the direction, like where they're focusing their energy at and their efforts, is like so wishy-washy. It's like, dude, like, and I'm pretty sure I think they had I saw like a photo or a thumbnail of the shooter, like a picture that they've posted on on their social media, and it's like it's him with I think 2 guns, like he's holding two handguns with a big bag of weed, and it's like I don't know, like not to be like judgmental, but it's just like there's like red flags already, and I do believe again like I would have to go back, but I do believe like this person also had signs of um mental health issues. So I know that's like been an argument of like, oh, it's not just mental health, man. It's the gun control and this and I it's all of it. Like it's all of it. But I think like the root thing should also that should be we should be focusing. God, am I gonna be doing a lot of edits on this one? The thing that we really should be also focusing on is like, yeah, the mental health of the person. Like they're clearly going through some shit, and then just and then they have access to firearms. It's a snowball effect. But again, you got these Black Lives Matter people like protesting for that person instead of the poor family. Like there's so that's why this first box here, I was like, I don't know. I'm 50-50. I'm 50-50 because I do believe in supporting anti-racism, right? But then you motherfuckers tend to overcorrect yourselves when you're trying to not be racist, and it's just like, dude, like what the fuck. I was going to refer to also is it's a 14-minute video. Stand-up comedian David Lucas. It's fucking hilarious if you love real, true stand-up comedy. And he kind of puts his 2 cents on this matter and kind of dives in a little bit. Obviously, like I'm gonna resonate more with what the comedian says because I am a fan of his. But the first video that I was talking about with this other gentleman, like I don't know, like I saw his video because my older brother, he shared it on his social media. So I was like, all right, I want to check into this because like like the headline was crazy. So like obviously I'm again I'll biased to hear the comedian, but I got this other guy, he could have said something different, right? But they both made great points on the matter. Like, what the fuck are you Black Lives Matter people doing? So the second thing is affirms and is supportive of LGBTQ plus folks. Yes, I agree with that wholeheartedly, 100%. Although I was a little annoyed by the fact that they had to use folks with the X, because is that necessary? If I didn't know how to spell folks, I would have spelled folks with an X anyway. But it's besides the point. It's just like, why? Like, what is folks more masculine? Is that like the traditional way of spelling folks with LKS? Is that masculine? I don't know, man. So again, there's like that's unnecessary. But that's a box I could check off like 100% like that. I support that. Third one is believes in police reform / defunding / abolition. No, I don't agree with that at all. Obviously, there are crooked ass fucking cops out there that deserve to be either put in jail or fired, taken off the force. Like, we got to get rid of them. But I don't think defunding the police will help. And why I believe that personally is because a few years ago, when we were still living in Jersey, there's an organization in Trenton. They put these seasonal artisan events, flea every year, every season. I I've been doing it with them. They're called Trenton Punk Rock Flea Market. I've mentioned them multiple times on the podcast. And a lot of my guests that I've had on the show are um, people that I've met at these Trenton events. So Trenton Punk Rock Flea Market, and then they also host these other events called Art All Day and Art All Night. Right, these are separate events. I've been doing them for years, and a few years ago, I think was it 2017 or 2018? No, it had to be 2017. It was before I was getting married, and I was a vendor. I was gonna be a vendor for the Art All Night event, because the way the event would go is that it was a 24-hour event. And what they would do is all night they would have all these activities, performances. They had this large art gallery. I think they had not a film fest, but they had a short film like section, like, showing film artists in the area. It was such an awesome event. So this thing would run all night, and then the following morning it would be a market, a vendor's market, and I was attending. I was gonna be a part of that, and it got canceled because that night there was a gang related shooting. All right, so the rest of the event was canceled, obviously. I don't remember exactly, like, people were injured. I don't think there were actual deaths that night. I might be wrong, but there were those that were injured, unfortunately. But so that happened. But then since then, Trenton they immediately uh you know they stepped up and did what was necessary to bring back the events, to bring back the community, to bring back hope and just like everything, man. And they increased their security, because they did have overnight security. Like the local police were actually part of the event. They secured the events. So unfortunately, because of that incident, they increased their security. And I'll even say, man, it's very evident, because ever since having done the events, I would see more cops around, and I'd be pre-gaming in my events, get a little before the show just to calm the nerves, and then I'd see the cops and like, oh man. So that's why I don't believe defunding the police is a great idea. That's why I do not support that. I really do believe that they need to be trained more. Training needs to be like mandatory, and just keep up with your training. I don't know shit about police, being a policeman, policewoman. So I don't know. Like, I just think, like, I wonder like what their training is like. Like, do officers, when they're off duty, do they show up at the gym and like work on, hand-to-hand combat, self-defense, disarming, and all that? Like, do they, stay warmed up? Because like I would think they would have to kind of train like an active fighter, right? Or like a fighter. A lot of fighters, they even after their fight, they keep training just to stay active, so that if there's like a last second matchup, they're ready for it. And I wonder if the police force train the same way. So there's that. So that's why I was like, don't believe in this one. And then the last one is agrees to support this initiative and project by promoting your business and the collective. You know, I feel 50-50 on it, because obviously I support, like I support a lot of these things, but it's just like, I don't know. I just disagree too strongly with how a lot of these people handle what they think is the solution or whatever. And and kind of going back, like, I of course I support local bit, like, this is what the fuck, my podcast. What do you think I do when I'm having local artists on the show? So obviously I support that, but it's just, with everything else, it's just like, I can't, I can't, I don't want to I don't want to be a part of this event. And the Trenton Punk Rock Flea Market, like, man, if you ever, if I have anyone in Jersey right now tuning in, if you've never been to one, you're missing out. Seriously. Even if you're in North Jersey and you don't want to make that hour drive or hour and a half drive, you're missing out. Swear to God. Those that have been to Trenton Punk Rock Flea Market, maybe you're an artist there. Maybe you were a vendor, an active vendor. Like Trenton, when they host their events, like, it's like over 200 vendors. It's a whole weekend too. It's a full weekend event. So you got like over 200 vendors at these events. Like, I didn't think it was necessary to have a safe space organization to hold these type of markets, so that people of LGBTQ plus communities and BIPOC, they need an exclusive event to be a part of, so that they feel accepted and safe. Like I don't know. And like, I feel like, is this like a Southern thing? Is this how, like, is this just because, like, these are Virginians that are hosting these type of, like, because I'm so down the middle, like, I don't know what the fuck left is, the right is, Republican, Democrat. I don't fucking know. I don't even know where I stand. Like, I don't like, I'm open-minded, but I do have certain, like, I guess certain conservative beliefs, like old ideas, that I grew up on. But I'm also willing to reprogram my mind to be more open about certain things. So yeah, I don't know. It's just fucking weird. So I apologize if I'm coming off like offensive, or, like, I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm really just questioning, like, why are we here? Like, yeah, like, why is this necessary? Like, I would love to just take these, like, the people that organize the safe space market. I would love to just take them and just just transport them to a Trenton Punk Rock Flea Market and let them be like, and just let them experience that scene. Because, like, I don't know, maybe if I've never done any of those events and then come here and then do safe space, maybe I would have been like, oh, safe space market, I love it. I feel so safe. In the space. Like, oh man, this is the place for me. It's like, but no, I feel like after having done the events with Trent, I'm like, yo, there's so much, there's so much, this, like, this safe space thing is like, it sounds like a stupid concept, because like and also, like, I guess coming from, like, like, I just, like, I want to attend to these events because I want to sell art. I want to share my art, inspire art, have conversations about art with attendees and other and the vendors there. Like, like, racism and sexual preferences, like, that shouldn't even be part of the conversation when it comes to creating and selling art. So yeah. Now the question is, do I avoid all, like, politicized markets. Like I'm, I don't even know what to call these type of markets, so I'm just gonna call them politicized or political markets. I don't know, like I don't know how to like label them, but do I just simply avoid them overall, or do I lie and apply anyway? Because I thought about it. I thought about just fucking, just shutting up and applying anyway and just pretend that I support all these beliefs. But honestly, it does not sit well with me. I just feel like the logic isn't quite there. And it does kind of hurt me. Not hurt me, it saddens me a little bit talking about this because I have some great friends, people that I actually, that I stay in touch with, that I vended with at these markets in the past. And, unfortunately, these tragedies that tend to keep happening and other political things that are happening, when they start, like they're showing their true colors, reacting to these things. And it's like, and it's like very black and white. It's very like this or that. And I'm like, nah, man, it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't. So yeah, it's fucked up. We're in a fucked up world. So that's why I created the Tech Utopia art series to illustrate the true dystopian world that we are currently living in. It just doesn't look that way visually, like it doesn't we like this world doesn't look like Mad Max right now because I don't know, we just haven't gotten there yet. Or because of how technology has advanced this way, it's not going to be very Mad Max. It's going to be more like Ready Player One. It's going to be like that, but even more tragic. It's going to be like well, I would say not Black Mirror, but oh man, if anyone out there tuning in, if you've never seen the Netflix series Love, Death and Robots, check that shit out, because that's what I see our future in. Now, do I truly believe in that? Half and half. I'm sure when I review this podcast, I'm gonna be like, oh goddamn, you really went off the rails here. I think the last thing I just want to say is that yeah, I'm definitely never gonna do an event with Safe Space RVA. I think that's the sure thing. As far as like other organizations go, like other organizations that are putting together artisan markets, I mean, if they're trying to support something like, yeah, I don't know. If it's that politically driven, I'm probably not gonna bother with it. Just because, again, I just didn't think it was that necessary. Like Trenton Punk Rock Flea Market, they never had these requirements in the application process. Like you never had to, at least in my experience, it's been a while since I've vended with them, but it was purely just like focusing on the product that your business is selling at their event. There were no like political requirements or like anything like that you had to like make sure that you fucking follow. It's like, no, like you're simply an artist or a creative entrepreneur. You're just trying to sell a product with our community, and just that's it. And then if you want to put in on grab bags, because that's another thing I love about Trent Punk Rock Flea Market. They put these like, they'll put like together like, I don't know, 300 grab, 300, yeah, maybe 300 grab bags. I don't know, I'm just fucking putting a weird number together. But they make all these grab bags of like goodies, like little, just little small items, like stickers and such from all their vendors. And they make these really cool gift bags. I've never, unfortunately, with my time being with them, I've never had enough product, like enough. I mean, maybe with my stickers, but I never had enough prints to to chip in for the grab, like the bags. That's a lot, So yeah. Anyway, that is all, my friends. Thank you for tuning in. If you've been joining me this whole time, yeah, I don't know. When I will be doing more of these solo recordings, and I will do my best to try to keep it fun or entertaining, even when I'm discussing more serious matters. But yeah, if you enjoyed this podcast or any of the previous episodes, please be sure to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. That way you can keep up with all the new uploads. Stay safe, stay healthy, and of course, stay aware. And I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.